3, 2, and yo.
Yep,
Wait, now we're here.
Yeah, we're still here in person. My man.
Yo.
We here. Hold on,
OTP.
One more pop. One more. There it is.
The pop.
What is good, y'all?
Yo.
We're hungry, so we're just gonna get right into eating.
We got more food. We might do a thing where it's like, I guess it's just food every stream.
Yeah.
But
if nothing else, just to keep us sane throughout the rest of the stream.
right. I'm not opposed to it though. But we definitely upgraded from McDonald's. This time around.
So we got ourselves here. Let's hold it up to the camera real quick.
What do we have?
We got some dumplings, man. We're doing full on dumplings. I was looking at the stream and I was like, okay, we're doing deep dives on D'Angelo and Dilla and Dumplings and Discourse on Drake and Donald Glover. So there's just a theme. A lot of D's today.
Yes. Hey, dumpling. Hey, yo. These are the type of D's I can get behind though. It's some dumplings. Hell yeah. We got some dim sum.
You know what's funny is like the person at the counter, she was like, is that all you want? And I was like, yeah, I want all that and dim sum. Hey.
She's like, shut the fuck up.
yeah. She slapped me across the face. So yeah, man, we got just a bunch of
OurThoughts dumpling, good eating.
So we got our classic Hargao shrimp crystal dumplings.
Yum.
Some crystal veggie dumplings.
Delish.
We got this thing. If you guys have ever had char siu, like that pork that's red, that's hanging off in a Chinese restaurant somewhere.
The best.
This is a bun full of that. It's a French char siu, and apparently there's like a custard aspect to it. So I'm let's try that out.
For sure.
And then a curry chicken puff pastry. I was like, what is a dim sum place doing with curry chicken?
Okay.
And we're about to find out.
This is an interesting spot. They got a lot of different stuff going on.
Very interesting spot. It's like a takeout dim sum spot.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I've never seen anything.
Okay.
Like that. But yeah, which one do you want to?
So let's get into this one. It's open. Okay. It's ready.
Let's do it.
Someone said Aiden said he's never had dumplings before, bro.
Ooh, you're missing out.
You're missing out. Go get some dim sum.
Sauce boat type thing.
Wow, there's a lot of sauces too.
Yeah.
This one looks good.
Spicy mayo. Come on now.
Dumplings from McDonald's. the Mc dim sum.
The McDumpling.
McDumplings.
I don't like the sound of the McDumpling.
The McShumai.
I don't like that.
Hell no.
Okay, I'm gonna be very careful where I post.
How good are they? Well, it depends where you get them, but I mean, they're usually pretty bomb. It's just rice paper filled with goodness. This one filled with shrimp, I think.
Yeah.
Wait, can you have this one?
Yeah.
Oh, you can have shrimp.
I'm good on shrimp.
Oh yeah.
In case you guys don't know, I'm allergic to fish, but I can eat like crab and lobster and shrimp. So do you want chili oil? Are we doing chili oil?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey.
Let's mix it up.
Ooh,
yeah. What's good, everyone? Tap in.
We needed it. We need this, y'all.
I'm starving. That's why we're like trying to get this shit ready.
Sorry if we're going right down. If it looks like we're going right down to business, because we are.
Yeah, because we hungry.
Well, how have you guys been doing?
I saw someone say Jose just got their Across the Spider-Verse Jordans. Damn.
Yo.
How much were those?
Cost a pretty penny. We got a lot to talk about. Speaking of
good eating, what's up? Yes, sir.
Oh my God.
Will be the chest gonna be a rich flex. Yes, sir. Jordan's on my feet. Yeah.
All right, let's get into this, man.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll get my chopsticks. Do y'all know how to use chopsticks?
I know people. Okay, let me see how you hold your chopsticks.
Like a normal person?
Yeah, like a normal person with this. Is that? Y'all see that?
That's how you break them.
You split them with a.
Boom.
I'm gonna get the instant replay, please. Okay, yeah, I've seen people. They go. Yeah, there you go. That's how you do it. I've seen people. They somehow use like all 5 fingers.
That's why. Why do you need all 5 fingers?
I know, and they're like,
that's all you need to do.
Yeah, there you go, like a pencil.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get this dumpling in our mouths.
Hold on. Let me move this so it's not
smart.
We don't spill it on the white
enough, I feel like
mouse pad.
I've definitely spilled it.
Okay.
All right, my man.
Wow, these are pretty thick.
Thick, juicy dumplings. Here we go. Clink, 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 clink.
All right.
Here we go. Mm-hmm.
Oh, those are bomb.
That'll do it.
They're kind of spicy.
I think it's the chili.
The sauce.
The sauce. Mm-hmm.
Delish.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Aiden says he hasn't been feeling the best. Hey, man. Go get you some dumplings. That'll do it.
Get you some
Go
food.
get you some dumplings. Which one do we want to try next? Oh, let's
Okay,
break it up a little bit. Let's get the curry chicken pastry.
Okay, yeah, that pastry looks interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of flaky.
Yeah, here. Let's hold it up.
Yeah.
To the
Ooh.
Yo, curry, chicken curry, pastry.
Okay.
Here we go.
This should turn into a mukbang.
I know. Literally, hey man, if this is what every stream's gonna turn into or start off with,
Yeah.
I'm cool with it.
Do we dip it in this? What's this?
What is it? Is it chili
More
oil?
chili oil.
Okay. I think we're good on chili
Lots what is this one for?
oil. Spicy mayo. I don't know. Maybe for this.
Okay, I'll use it. I love spicy mayo, so.
Same.
All right, let's try it just as is.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers. Feel crunchy.
That's pretty crunchy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like Indian.
Yeah.
flavor.
Interesting.
That's good.
Just was not expecting
It was just
chicken curry from a
Yeah, that's
dim sum
crazy.
spot. It's like Hong Kong style
Yeah.
dim sum, so it's like interesting.
It's like curry in like a deep fried pastry.
Mm-hmm.
Goes kind of hard.
Mm-hmm.
Let me try with the chili oil.
Oh yeah. That's gonna go off.
Yup.
Yep. Wait.
Okay.
Rating. So we said the hargao. That's my personal favorite thing.
Okay, that's
to get
pretty
at
good.
dim sum, so I'm like,
That's
giving
like an
it,
8.
I'm gonna give it like an 8, 8
Yeah.
and a half. Yeah.
That's good though. I like that. 8.5. 8.5 on the whatever that's called.
The old Magnus scale, the McMagnus.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
By the way, a lot of love on your Magnus meal. By the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember
the
that.
breakfast. That's what I'm saying. Because sometimes or most of the time, McDonald's is not serving breakfast anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
if you get the Magnus meal, you get breakfast any time of day.
Also, like, I don't know if it's a hot take, but I always end up getting breakfast stuff at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like, chicken nuggets are great, but the breakfast wraps, the sausage wraps, the
hash brown.
the hash brown, that's like going up.
Mm-hmm.
Like the prime source of inflation right there.
Yeah.
You got the McGriddle.
The
and
yeah.
All that stuff. Ooh. Man, okay.
Are y'all following us? Y'all following us on the threads?
Oh yeah.
Y'all using Threads?
Thank you for bringing that up. Let's talk about it.
I've been on it.
What is Threads for anyone who doesn't know?
I guess it's Mark Zuckerberg's response to Elon's incompetence with Twitter. Honestly, I refuse to believe that this wasn't a calculated,
Like a chess move.
Yeah, this was definitely a calculated business move. Like the moment Elon's like, you gotta pay to see tweets, everybody hates him. Whole Twitter base is going down. There's bots everywhere. All this bullshit, and like verification doesn't mean anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Zuck comes in with Threads, which is Instagram, Twitter basically, and it's linked to your Instagram account. So what I learned today is that if you delete your Threads account, you delete your Instagram account.
Who's deleting their Threads account like right now? Like day 2.
Just don't do it. Like if you just accidentally do it, like it's gonna delete your Instagram. But no, I'm on there, and it's very interesting. It's super limited right now.
Yeah.
It's just a random feed that it's kind of my friends, but it's also random people on there, and then it's like stuff that people interact with, people that are rethreading things or retweeting shit. Mm-hmm. There's no hashtags, there's no discover page, there's no DMs.
You can't make drafts, like
no drafts. Can't edit.
Can't even switch profiles. So that's why, in case you guys are asking, that's why there isn't an OTP Threads yet.
Yeah.
It's because, we're not.
I can't. I'm already logged into the Threads on my personal account. I can't. We need an OTP like separate phone.
I know. Company phone.
We need a company phone.
I'm down. Yo.
But yeah, nah. We'll be on there though.
Are you liking it so far?
It's cool. I think you know what's reminding me of? It's reminding me of when everybody got Instagram for the first time, and or like when everybody got Tumblr for the first time, and nobody knew what it was, what to post, what it was for. So it was just like a free for all. There was no verified badges, no algorithm, none of that. It was literally just like raw social media, and that's what it feels like right now. It feels like a group chat, honestly. Like it's like
a worldwide group chat.
Yeah, so it's cool. It's if we're talk about like the actual interface alone,
it's clean.
It's pretty clean, like, except like I feel like the main page of your scrolling is a little bit confusing sometimes. Just how they format like someone's response, or like, you know, if like I see something, I'm only seeing something because someone I follow replied on it.
Yeah. I'm
it
like,
gets
why is this on my feed? And then you scroll a little bit more, and you're like, okay, someone replied.
So
to it.
It's a little messy. I really like how.
But then sometimes you get some random ass tweet in there.
Yeah.
Just like some motivational. Hey, remember, you only got 24 hours in the day.
I know. I'm like, don't be on here speaking like you like motivate. Like we just got here. Like,
that's probably my favorite part of this whole Threads thing. Is everyone hopping on and instantly trying to get a viral tweet off.
Right. I'm like, y'all need to shut up. Like, let's all be real and realize like we're all here together at the same moment.
I know.
Don't be out here spitting gems. Like you've been here for like a year already.
Or my favorite is the. Guys, like this if you think this is better than Twitter. Oh, guys, isn't this better than Twitter? Oh my god,
so stupid.
So much better than Twitter.
Right,
it's just
right,
like,
right.
all right,
I get it. We get it.
I agree, but also like, relax, chill out.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
What I'm realizing though is when you sign up for Threads, you have an option to follow everyone you follow on Instagram on Threads.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, sure, like, so I don't have to go in and do it. Sure. But now. Are there napkins in there, actually?
There is not, but I'll go back.
Now, or I can wait for a second. Because I want to get your thoughts on what I'm about to say. Hydrate time. My hands are so greasy, y'all. Y'all need to stop. We haven't even brought up the idol, and y'all talking about his Tedros' tongue. What is wrong with you? I'm out here just eating my noodles. The Idol's a good show, and everyone is a hater and jealous. What am I jealous of? Anyway. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what I was about to say. I'm realizing the people I follow on Twitter, there's a reason I follow them on Twitter. And the people I follow on Instagram is the reason I stay following on them on Instagram. Now it's like both are combined.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I'm like, damn, I really didn't care what these people had to say. Like, I'll look at your story, but I'm like, I don't need your thoughts, your stream of consciousness on Threads, on Twitter. Like, there's a reason why I follow certain people and there's some people I don't follow. So now, yesterday, I was going in and unfollowing and blocking people because I'm like, I don't need to see this. I don't want to follow you. I don't care what you have to say. That and that. So,
and also for me, what I've found interesting is that, say, on the other end of the token, there are people that follow me on Instagram that don't know I have Twitter. And now, I'm on Threads. Anyone that follows you on Instagram can follow you. So I'm gonna be keeping it PG on Threads. Like, if you guys want to see me just chilling, but if you want to see me talking my shit, go on Twitter at Cheslito, at MattMags. But if you want to go on Threads and have a nice little PG family conversation that my employers my supervisors can see, that the people I like professionally work with I can see, we can have like little cool conversations there. But no, so far I'm digging Threads. I think it's definitely,
I like it.
It needs more, obviously, but I do
just starting out.
I do remember, I remember how Twitter was when it first kicked off. Not first kicked off, but like the first couple years, and there was like just little like niche accounts that you'd find. There was like some guy impersonating Batman.
Oh yeah,
and,
when it would
Batman, and man, they're good times. And
the fake like Will Ferrell tweets or whatever.
Oh, Phil Werrell.
Yeah, Phil Werrell. That's like
else?
2013, 2014 Twitter.
That's where you get all the Swagapino posts.
That's where they originated.
Hat, glasses, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So there's been a part of me that's like, man, good fucking times. Like we're here, savor it while you can, before all the politics get in here,
before the ads come in.
the ads, all the bullshit comes in. So yeah, no, I'm having fun on Threads so far. Let me know. I do love that you can import stuff from your Instagram profile and your
That's
followers, all that.
That's
stuff.
cool. I think that was the most interesting part is you know, you look at something like Twitter or like TikTok, you know, they had to build. Well, TikTok I guess is different. They kind of were Musically and then they became TikTok.
Yeah.
But I think what's interesting is like for the first time a brand new social media platform is like they don't have to grow a following. It's like they instantly have like millions of users like in an instant.
Oh, I saw that. It was like the fastest app like exponentially to get
Like over a
users.
million users.
Yeah.
And like which is just interesting because it's interesting for the people running Threads and for people on Threads because we're all just like, boom, we're here.
Yeah.
And then we're just like, okay, like, now what? You know, we're all just kind of looking around. We're kind of feeling it out. And so it's just, I don't know.
You got everybody trying everything out here.
Yeah.
Like, you got obviously like, and everyone from like people, personalities, influencers, companies.
Everyone's just kind of waiting for the people to run the app, like the big pages. Like, you know, you see on Twitter, it's like the same, maybe like 5 big ones.
Yeah.
It's like people are waiting for those people to come and be like, okay, this is the app. This is how we get to do it. Like, this is the humor, whatever. So right now it's just like a bunch of random ass people.
It's fun right now, yo.
Saying weird shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead, follow us at Cheslito, at Matt Mags on Threads. Like I said, but also follow us on Twitter still because I'm still gonna be on there. Are you?
Yeah,
I'm
on there.
Time between the two for now?
I don't know. I went back to Twitter. I was like going back and forth, and I'm just like, Twitter looks so bloated compared to Threads.
Yeah.
But then Threads is so stripped down. And I don't even know what I'm going to use that for. I'm just kind of on there. So we'll see. I'll just be on it. I'll switch off, yeah. And then like if they add a new, you know, if they roll out a new feature or something like that, yeah, I'll like, if it's starting to look better than Twitter, then yeah, I think I'll switch to Twitter.
I'll lean towards Twitter or
but
a little more.
We'll see. I mean, my Twitter page has grown a lot the past like 5 years. Like, I used to have I had like 2 viral videos on Twitter, in like during the pandemic.
Right.
And then like
the Frank Ocean one, right?
Yeah, my Frank Ocean edits. So I had like eras of what I would do on Twitter, but now I'm like, damn, it's kind of just.
Is this the only
clean
Twitter
slate.
account you've ever had? Or not the only. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the only one.
I was gonna say I have a couple burners, but this is like my first personal Twitter account.
Yeah.
So for me to ditch it would be like, ooh man,
yeah,
a lot of memories.
With my Instagram, my page right now is the one I signed up with when Instagram came out.
Yeah,
like, it's the original one.
Have you changed your name since?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember my
Matt
username.
The Rapper.
It was Matt the Rapper. It was like I tried to do like aesthetic like Magnus or something stupid. It was Matt the Rapper for a while, but like rapper spelled like candy wrapper.
Yeah,
or something.
right.
I don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
But then Matt Mags has stuck for a long time. I don't know why. It feels weird for me to change it. Because now when people see me, they call me Matt Mags.
Matty Mags.
And I'm just like, all right, I guess this is me.
This is who you are at this point. Yeah. Cheslito's always been mine. Like, literally the one I signed up with.
Yeah. No, that one fits. But
I've been like, might be time for a rebrand. I don't know if
Chez
it's
the
LA,
Rapper.
Chez the Rapper.
Is it Cesco? Like,
Tedros,
Tedros?
Yeah. Okay, all right. You're giving me so many ideas right now. I'm like, just go, leave in the chat. Go ahead, leave in the chat. What do you want to change my...
What should Francesco's new username be?
Yeah.
On what, Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram.
Okay.
Instagram. So right now it's Cheslito as everything is, but let me know. Burners for what?
All right. Can I have this last one? Because we got these ones
You've
too.
been looking at it for a minute, so it's all you. That's all you.
Let me dip right here.
Yeah. But yeah, so everything... Oh, we still got to try out this char siu.
Yeah.
Bun thingy. Let's see. The Weekend? I think that one's taken.
Maybe the E's can be like 3s or something.
Yeah. Ooh.
Damn, that's good.
Yeah. Also, you're gonna. This is a juicy bun.
Oh.
My favorite kind of buns. Oh. Oh. Anyways.
Side eye.
You okay?
Spicy.
Oh yeah.
My
Okay.
water.
Water. Yeah. Hey, man.
Okay.
Shall we get into some of the recent developments that has happened?
Aiden, did you really just get dumplings? Did we influence you? I'd sell my family for these. Yo.
Phantom of the Cesco. Hey, y'all know how much
That's
I
all
love
right.
Phantom
That's
of the
all right.
Opera.
Okay. Okay, sorry. You were about to go into some.
No. Are we good to get into some topical news?
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. No way. Okay, Aiden, let us know what you get. And are you eating them right now? Because if you Postmated them, that was like the fastest Postmates ever.
Yeah.
Let me know what you're eating.
You must have had the Postmate like X.
Yeah. The
Whatever
rush
the-
fee. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, Drake
Yo.
started
the
his tour.
The Drake tour.
Yeah, started off in Chicago, which I don't know if that's supposed to be. Honestly, there's a lot of stuff that you could take as a diss towards other people, and some things that are just definitely disses, and we'll get into all that. But, tour starting out in Chicago, interesting decision. There's a Chicago rapper who I'm sure y'all know he's beefing with, but, yeah, it looks really cool, man. Have you seen any footage from this?
I have.
It's All a Blur, I believe, is the name. Concert.
Yeah. So this is just the Drake tour.
Oh, Drake and 21. So it's like.
Okay. So it is the Her Lost tour. Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen nothing on 21. I've seen one video on him, and all Drake. So I'm like, okay, I thought like Drake was just on tour, but yeah, I saw like the visuals looking. I thought they were pretty cool. Like the ops cam, I thought was funny.
Cam, yeah.
You know, they're like the camera that's searching around for people in the crowd and it just says like the ops or whatever, and like zoom in on some random girl in the crowd.
Right.
That's pretty funny.
The spaceship.
The spaceship, the one of Virgil is crazy.
That
like
statue, yeah.
And it's like, is it a statue? Like, it was like he was throwing a paper airplane, but it was like really there, and it was like flying across the whole concert. Like,
Yo, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I just saw the statue, but I didn't.
I think
see,
I
like...
sent it to you.
Yeah.
Let me see. I think it was on Instagram. Did I send it to you?
It was like the
Yeah,
slides,
look.
right?
I said this visual is insane.
Oh wow.
Like, yo, like that's definitely
That's
that's crazy.
Yeah. I don't think we'll get caught. But yeah, look
Look at that. It's Virgil Abloh throwing.
A paper airplane.
I mean, for scale, that's Drake. Like, holy shit.
Such a cool tribute. Really
Yeah.
cool. So as you can tell, like already, the visuals are on 100.
His like younger self.
Hologram, full like LeBron James Super Bowl commercial vibes, where it's like
Yeah, his younger self.
We're in our bedroom.
Right.
He like hands him a notebook, and the funniest part of that clip, that I think it's just it's so Drake, man. The idea that he's singing along, he's reading from a textbook or some like composition book, and he goes, "Hey, sing the words back to me. It's Look What You Done." So it's like, iconic song.
Mm-hmm.
And then the song starts, like the vocals start, and he's just lip syncing along. Like you realize,
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta get back on the mic."
Like what? What? How could you be lip syncing, bro? Like it's your concert. That's crazy.
I'm like, bro, like I'm sure lip syncing is somewhat normalized at this point for like tours, but damn, bro,
it
on
wasn't
the
even
first tour on the
Yeah.
first concert night.
But he wasn't even like singing a song. He was just like reading a rap. I'm like, you can't just.
Yeah,
like
lip syncing a rap concert is crazy.
Yeah, like that's just like what? And you're Drake, bro. Like you can rap. Like yeah. But yeah, this is the Virgil thing. Looks pretty
cool.
sick. Drake and his younger self.
Man,
Which
Jimmy Brooks.
So I don't know if this. I mean, I guess that's a real person. Yeah, like next to him.
They just hired a person that's gonna go on tour with them. Just
Yeah.
to
This
sit
kind
on
of
the couch.
reminds me of Frank Ocean, where like that random kid went on.
This is my inner child, or something
Yeah.
like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Like okay.
Cool
That's
fit.
crazy.
Yeah.
Serial killer look.
He looks like Look What You Did. I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Mhm.
3.
The sperm is too much.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
At that point, I was like, all right, we're done.
We're done.
Yeah.
You're done. This goes crazy though. The UFO.
The UFO is nuts. Is that for like? Do you know what songs he performs in that part?
What song is that? Oh,
Right.
bug it
Hell
right. Yeah,
Man,
that
okay.
goes crazy. I mean, the tour looks cool. Yeah, that's so wild.
Man. Would you mind looking up the set list real quick? On just like on Instagram.
Okay, yeah. Let's see.
Cool. That
Drake.
veggie dumpling is like refreshing almost.
Oh. Tour set list. Is that how it works? Nope. Okay, hold on. I know that he did Feel No Ways. Okay,
Yeah.
set list.
What you done? So damn, he got caught in the very first song.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Doing his thing.
Marvin's Room, the second. That's crazy.
Wow, Marvin. Wow. Okay. So slow. Starting off slow.
Yeah, Feel No Ways,
Feel No
Jaded,
Ways.
Jungle, and then he gets headline, the motto. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Started from the bottom. Energy.
Started
No,
from the bottom. Here.
Oh, we did Sicko Mode? All right.
Travis Scott cover. It's a cover of
Yeah.
Travis Scott's song. And then so he starts off slow and then ends off on a like on a
Nice
high.
for what? Okay, that's cool. Oh, geez, it
Oh,
keeps going.
wait,
Oh.
DJ set. Is that okay, so I read something that like Zach Bia comes on stage at some point and like DJs a quick set. So I guess
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
that's what that is.
Let's try this.
Yeah, juicy, right?
Ooh, that's so good.
Yeah, it's what was it? A custard bun. With
Wow.
char-siu. Peaches and eggplants. Okay. This is and then
So then 21 Savage.
So
comes in.
21 Savage just gets like a little set. He gets like
So
a little set in the middle of this
Okay,
Drake concert,
and then they go together,
and then they go together. I mean,
and then encore is Legend. Okay.
interesting. I mean, I get it in like principle, like why you'd perform Legend, but I don't know. That's not. I would have performed Rich Flex as the encore song. Or I don't know actually. I don't even know.
21.
Search and Rescue. Why?
I mean, that's interesting how
Child's Play. Yeah.
it's. I mean, honestly, it just seems like a Drake concert, and
It's a
then
Drake concert.
like with special guests. It's not like the Drake and 21 Savage concert because
Yeah.
I feel like they would be more collaborative. But it's like Drake, then 21, then Drake and 21. You know?
Honestly, that kind of describes the album too. Her Loss. Like,
True.
it kind of is just Drake, and then 21 Savage is there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's mainly Drake.
Mm-hmm.
So no, it's cool. It looks cool, but there were onto some more pressing topics. I think that we can a little more to chew on. Really cool concert, but yeah, there was some stuff. Well, first of all, Drake had a quote. He said something like, "Here, Matthew David sent this to me. Let me get the actual quote here."
I'm bringing it up about the beef.
Oh, let's do Bino first, and then we can do Kendrick.
All right. Okay, so I don't know if y'all yeah, the Beano beef, yeah.
Yeah, let's
so,
talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it.
I don't like, bro. Drake must be bored because this apparently he disses Gambino. If you can read the marquee,
Yeah, it says yeah.
it says the overrated and over awarded hit song "This Is America" was originally a Drake diss record.
So yeah, I don't know. It's so random. It's like
Yeah.
we're all chilling. We're all
I'm just
having
like,
a good time.
okay.
Headlines is playing one of my favorite Drake songs, and then you're just gonna diss Childish Gambino
For no reason.
for no.
Also,
reason.
this song came out so long ago. Why are you just saying this now? You
Yeah.
know, like I said, Drake is bored.
Drake is bored, and honestly, like I don't even think this is even a real beef or a real diss. I think it's just like you said. I think he's just bored because like I don't know, like they're cool. Like doesn't Bino literally reference Drake in Atlanta? Like it's like, oh, we're at Drake's party. There's an episode centered
There's a
around
whole
that.
episode.
And
yeah.
Drake even like showed some love to that. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no. You know what? For me, what's interesting is This Is America is overrated and over awarded.
Mm-hmm.
That's been a sticking point, I think, because a lot of people were mentioning like as a song, it's okay, but the video really carries it, and also like I think it's the only what is it? It's the only hip hop song to win Record of the Year.
Oh.
So people are like, "This is America, really? Like, is it really like that?" But so what do you think about that?
I mean, I don't think it was overrated or over awarded. And to be honest, and the fact like they're saying, oh, like the visuals carried, like I think that's like the point. Like the whole experience was from the song is the music video. That's the whole piece of art. You know, it's like it's like if you have like, you know, it's like if you have a painting but you don't have a frame or a way to put it up, it's like, okay, it's there. The visuals just were able to put it into a frame, you know, and give us like actual context and visuals to fill in more of like what Gambino was talking about. And
it's like judging a movie soundtrack, and being like, without the movie,
it's like oh, this is boring, you know, like. Well, you need the visuals to go along with it, and like that's just what art is. Is like sometimes that's what they want. Is like there's a two-parter, and knowing like Gambino, it's like, you know, you look at Because the Internet, and there's an entire screenplay that goes along with the album that you're supposed to be reading, like as you listen to the album. So he's been known for like being you know, faceted with
multimedia.
Yeah, like there's
centric.
There's like always multiple ways to consume the art. I don't think it was overrated. I mean, I think it came, like the whole way it came out was sick. It was like he did his SNL performance, and then at the same time, I think the music video dropped, and then everyone was talking about it while SNL was premiering. So everyone's like, in so many ways, it was just like so much happening, and he was like, oh shit, like, you know, Gambino's on SNL, like he's performing songs from
the movie,
the Guava Island.
Yeah. And also, like, he was on SNL to promote his role as Lando in the new Solo movie. Right. So it was just like the era. It was like Bino's year.
Yeah, really. It was his era, and like I think it also was really timely. Obviously, with like the "This Is America," like the message was needed. Yeah. So, I think Drake's just trying to start beef to get people talking to buy his album, bro. Like to buy the book, to sell the tickets, to get people to watch these clips, to want to go to his concert. Because then they're like, oh, like we're gonna see who Drake's gonna diss next. We gotta go to the concert to read the marquee. It's like, bro, Gambino doesn't give a fuck what Drake's saying. What Drake thinks. He's like a better artist than him anyway. So like, I don't see the point. But to his point on This Is America, I think he's just like, you could say this about like All Right by Kendrick Lamar. It's like overrated, over awarded.
You know, just a moment, just capitalizing off a moment. Yeah, but it's like
he could say this about any song. Yeah, you could say like Purple Rain was actually a Drake diss to start with. Like
it's educational, Lauryn Hill.
Yeah,
overrated, over awarded.
Over awarded. You know, Dawn FM over awarded, overrated. You know, it was actually a Drake diss. Like what?
I don't know. And also, I don't know, man. Like, I think This Is America has just gone so far from being a Drake diss at this point. Like, it's really just so different from what it is.
But what part was it a Drake diss? Like, did he change the lyrics or something?
I think he said like it started off as a Drake diss. So maybe like its a very first like conception of it was like maybe some bars about like commercial rap or something, like, and then it just became This Is America, which I'd love to see what that like that journey. I know.
But like I feel like
I would feel flattered if a diss about me became one of the most powerful moments in like music history, you know?
Right. Leave it to Drake to make it about him again. Yeah. But I feel like just announcing this, it's kind of embarrassing because it's like, well, he probably could have roasted the shit out of him. Like, it was during the same time that Story of Adidon came out. The same year. Right. So everybody was roasting him, and so Bino was probably like, "Oh, he's already got like, he doesn't need more smoke."
Bino was like, he got me. Push got me.
Push said all that needed to be said. You know, he's like, you know what, I don't gotta pile on. Let me just talk about America. You know,
Push had more to say. If you remember the Story of Adidon, he's like, hey, it's gonna be a surgical summer. Like, it's gonna be all summer long. So Bino's like, okay, I guess.
I'll lay off. Let me just drop like the most, the record of the year real quick. But just the fact that we're talking about it again is just, it's like you're just like Drake is just setting himself up to be roasted more now. Like everyone probably is like, well, if you did drop a diss track, it probably would have been pretty good, and you probably would have been embarrassed.
If you had.
Yeah.
Damn. And speaking of Drake sending out disses, there's another one I just DM'd it to you. You know, if you read if you read the tea leaves here, I think there's something interesting here. Oh, it's from me. It's from me, not OTP.
Oh.
Yeah.
Got it.
There it is.
What's this?
Okay. So.
Okay,
Drake,
so from our informants over at NFR podcast.
Yeah. So Drake says, on artists waiting 3+ years before dropping, people like to complain about how much music I put out, but I look around at all these faces and I know it's summertime. All these faces, the crowd. I gotta give you new music. I don't know about these guys that go away 3, 4, 5 years. I want to chill out and all that. That's not me. Okay, look, man. This is Drake right now is speaking like those employees that are just like, I'm married to the game, and he's like, if you think about it, what he's doing is he's shaming artists for like stopping putting music down for a little bit and living their lives.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, what's the main thing we've critiqued Drake on?
Yeah. Too much.
He has nothing.
Yeah.
He gives nothing. Like nothing new. It's always just Drake.
Just Drake. Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, you're literally shaming everyone for the exact reason that we're critiquing you.
Yeah. He's like, I don't get why people wait 3 to 4 to 5 years. It's like, clearly you just said that your shit is so low effort that you can drop like
just do it whenever.
You can just do it whenever. You don't gotta think about it. It's gonna take maybe like 6 months, and then that's that.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know why. Like, why do y'all take so long to drop? Why is it gonna take so long? It's like, bruh.
Oh, y'all got kids to feed. It's like, yeah, Drake, you too.
Yeah. He's like, oh my bad.
Yeah.
He's like, he's too busy. Drake's too busy running his own NBA championship in his home gym.
Yeah,
like,
I saw that.
Than to be making focusing on music.
Winning your own league and holding a championship parade with the champagne is fucking nuts.
It's like, crazy.
That's a narcissist.
Everybody had to sign to make sure like Drake has to win. Drake has to get the 3-pointer.
The game-winning shot.
Drake has to win. Like fucking game 5, like whatever,
Finals MVP trophy.
Yeah.
He's got to get the big press conference or whatever. Dog, this was so. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I think that like hold on. Smell that? I think that's a Kendrick Drake beef.
No.
Coming soon on the horizon, y'all.
Oh,
I see it.
I
see it on the horizon, y'all.
Because didn't Kendrick say something in Hillbillies? Oh no, you were alluding to the fact that he remixed Drake's own song to make a better song.
And then obviously the line off Father Time, regarding Kanye and Drake. I guess I'm not as mature.
Yeah. I guess I got some healing to do.
So I got some healing to do. Like, so he's still like, Kendrick is still like here for it. And this is kind of the first time Drake is like not responding, but just like calling him out, sub disses, even though I feel like Kendrick is like beyond that point. I feel like he's just ready. Yeah. But now,
I would love to see a diss, at least one diss track from Kendrick. I don't think he's really done that before. He had one line that people got mad at from like years ago, saying he's like the king of New York or something.
Oh, Control.
Some
where he was just like calling out every rapper, like. Yo.
Well, that one was fine because like, that one was like they took it well because he's saying like, oh, like I'm in this rap game because I'm trying to win, like I want like so that everyone kind of steps their game up, and so it got everyone hyped. Yeah, he's like, it's the game, it's rap, it's like we're supposed to be competitive and like kind of flex on each other. But he says something about like he's from the West Coast, but he's
still the king of
New York.
Yeah,
and then like Diddy like got mad and like tried to fight him or something. But since then, Kendrick's never really had like a rap beef. But I feel like Drake is a pretty easy target. So.
And also, I'm like, man, Kendrick and Drake would be like, fucking Tyson versus like Muhammad Ali. I don't know, like just like it'd be the biggest commercial rapper versus like the biggest, underground rapper. Yeah, like it'd be the perfect matchup. I think 2 Titans really going at it, and also like as much shit as we give Drake, he knows how to make like a record, and given like proper inspiration. I mean, like back to back. Look at
I mean, if
go,
he's being roasted, yeah, he's gonna respond.
like Duppy freestyle, as much as Story of Adidon really killed him.
Mm-hmm.
Duppy freestyle, like the first track, was really good. So I mean, I don't know, man. A Drake Kendrick kind of beef would, I think, really spark, like would really like pick this year up, more than like commercial wise or like mainstream wise. The NFR boys would be going crazy.
Oh, they're gonna be all over it.
They're gonna be all over it. So, I mean, I'm here for it. I just want it to happen at this point. I want Drake to stop giving these sub disses. Like Kendrick is ready. He's been out here shadow boxing, like But you're out here, putting sperms up in the stage and all that stuff. So no, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready for it.
Where's the Tedros diss? Yeah, Euphoria was actually a Tedros diss before it was Euphoria. In case you didn't know,
just a giant Tedros diss.
Yeah.
Okay. Tedis. Anyways, so yeah, that's that on Drake. Is there anything else that before we get into some deep dives? Is there anything that we're missing?
Man, well, I don't know if y'all saw that thing on the Idol, those behind the scenes images.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And like, there was a girl, like a little girl, like a young like child actress who was supposed to be in it, and like I think a part of Jocelyn's family or something, and like there were, did you send me that? I think I have it. But yeah, they're like behind the scenes photos of what could have been the Idol. Here it is. Yeah. Okay, I have it.
So this is it looks like this is the Idol before, like when Amy Seimetz was still working. Obviously they had creative differences and she ended up leaving the project. Enter Sam Levinson, and the show became what it was.
Yeah, so this is, her
Look
room.
Look at this, man. Look at this.
This is like straight up like
cute.
That's like Hannah Montana, Madonna type shit. Like she actually looks like a pop star. And it's a lot more interesting, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. A lot more digestible.
Yeah. It looks cool. Honest. I'm a little bit more convinced of her career, seeing like the merch,
Yeah.
But just completely different vibe, from what the Idol is now. I mean, I think the Idol, like stylistically, is probably better, like in terms of how it was shot, and like it's probably a little bit more innovative with like, at least I think from what I've seen, the way that the story's told is still pretty creative, at least.
Okay.
And it looks like Euphoria, like it's gonna look great, and it looks great. Like this definitely is a little bit more on the campy side.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's interesting. It's like, it just sucks that all this was kind of stripped. I feel like there's so much backstory. This is so much like
already a lot more characterization.
Yeah, like it's just Jocelyn is just like woman equals sex. That's all that she is in the show now. But this is like, oh dang, like cardboard cutouts. You can see she has like her platinum records on the wall. Like none of that was in the show.
I guarantee you there would have been a scene where she's like ripping through all these cutouts, and it would have been like the big freak out moment. I don't know, man. There's some, I see a lot of potential, and I totally get what you're saying with like visually, and it looks a little more contemporary. I think that's what Sam Levinson is just like, provocative, edgy images.
Yeah.
I like the story of where this is going. Also, to me, this confirms like that. Remember those initial images we saw of like The Weeknd and like, he had the fro, the Donald fro, and
it was different.
He was suited up, and they're walking down the red carpet. And I'm like, that looks. I don't know, like.
I mean, it was. I mean, I get it. He looked like The Weeknd, He didn't look as like a separate character. At least I can at least give it to them. Like Tedros, at least is different. Tedros. Yeah, it's different. Different hair. It looks different.
But I'm like, bro, these rewrites must have been fucking like. Ugh, crazy. So the Rolling, honestly, this to me like really lends a lot of credence to that Rolling Stone article, and I feel like Sam Levinson and Abel are just kind of trying to keep their teeth. What is it like? What's the saying? Just like keep a smile on their face, put a face on, and just try to
pretend it was all supposed to happen like this.
Yeah. No, this is so. I personally feel like I
But
would
it's
like to have seen this version of the Idol.
it's just crazy to see, you know, like how like this is so early 2000s. Like I thought it's cool, but like I understand. Like I like Jocelyn though, like how she is, I guess. Like in the show now, she's definitely like a tortured, you know, artist who has a lot of trauma and like she's you know, the dark side about being a pop star, you know, all the people who depend on her and like how she just breaks down all the time and like I like that. But then it's like this is just so much more fun to me. Where like the Idol's not fun.
Yeah,
like,
I'm
at
not.
all,
I don't.
know?
Also, vibe check.
Yeah,
Pink
little
vinyl.
pink
I fuck
vinyl.
with
Like
it.
like that picture of her on the wall is totally like Hannah Montana, like early 2000s, like
Hannah Montana.
way more fun.
I honestly, I
like
think
that's a pop star, you know.
Not to, I obviously I don't want to assume because who knows what the trailers would have looked like, what the rest of the show would have looked like, but I could envision myself getting excited to like every week to sit down and watch whatever this show would have ended up being.
I think it would have been a lot more like
attractive,
charming,
endearing, and I think
yeah.
that kind of vibe would have been cool to see The Weeknd in. Like, okay, I mean, I don't know what his character would have been, how different it would have been, because Tedros in this kind of show would have been fucking...
would have been just like, what the fuck? Like,
it's like Hannah Montana.
He would have blown up the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what that would have looked like, but if he's still, like, manipulative and getting into that bag in this show, I think it would have been like, all right, here's this fun little show, and throw The Weeknd in there. That would have been a cooler thing instead of here's The Weeknd the show, which is what I think the current Idol
pretty much
feels like, you know.
And Jose says they were really on a budget. They had to film it in one house. Yeah, for sure. This looks super low budget compared. I mean, even like the set decoration, you know, it's like looks like a little girl's room, you know, which maybe. And I think in the show that she originally lived with her family, and like she had like her siblings, and like that's what that child actor, she was supposed to play her little sister or something, or maybe her cousin, I don't know. And like there's an entire like family cast that was supposed to be Jocelyn's family, and then they cut into like, actually your mom's dead, and like you have no family, all you do is like get horny and make shitty music and like and cry
this poor little man.
Yeah, like just all the, I'm like, wow, they really just made her
like evil. A whole new show, like
whole
really
new show.
A whole new show, and
it's all filmed at the Weeknd's house. It's like, I don't know, it just felt weird, you know, seeing this and knowing how much was scrapped. It's like, look how happy the crew is, you know, versus the Idol where everyone's like miserable and like leaving the set. It's like, I don't know,
total waste of money and everyone's time. I don't know, man. So yeah, the Idol. Okay, so are you still just like, you're done with episode 2? Like,
I only watched episode. I did episode 2, which was not bad. Like it was like the music video episode. I don't know if you've watched more of it, but
I've only seen the one. I'm planning on watching the rest of them when I get some time.
Yeah, it's just like
we'll talk about it though. When I watch all of them, you'll know, because we'll have a little.
But yeah, it was not bad. It was very dramatic. It was like she was struggling through the filming of a music video, and I like that part because that was very like real, very raw. Like I felt you could like really, really feel for her for the whole time, and I'm like, damn, like the things that these pop stars have to go through, you know, the pain they have to endure.
That's the interesting stuff to me, is like, okay, what is the actual life of a pop star?
And then they would intercut it with like some bullshit, like nasty work, some nasty work that the Weeknd was doing in his club.
Got you.
And I'm just like, yo, like go away, like cut back, like we don't need to see that. And like, nasty work. And in fact, episode 2 is when the line happens. So like, yeah. And I'm like, yo, what the it's bad.
Gonna stretch.
I've been seeing people talk about the finale. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't care about being spoiled, but maybe don't spoil it for other people in the chat here, but like I saw what the twist was.
Do we want to just real quick, spoiler alert, click off for like 2 minutes? If you just laugh at it for a quick second.
I mean, maybe. I haven't seen it, so like I can't really say much.
I know, but let's just laugh at it real quick.
Okay. Spoiler.
Yeah, give us like 2 minutes. I promise we'll
get you have 5 seconds
but
to
also,
close your eyes.
Cares? Who fucking cares about this show?
You have 5 seconds to plug your ears. 5, 4, 3.
Women are evil. The root of all evil is women.
Yeah. And in case y'all didn't know, Jocelyn was the bad guy apparently the whole time.
Yo, women, these treacherous women, bro. I'm telling you, Sam Levinson, he knows.
Yeah, Tedros was actually the victim. You know,
Tedros was right.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts. Crazy, and also people.
Well, how did they twist it like that? Like,
I guess it's like.
Well, you haven't
I
seen
think the
it.
whole thing is that like you think Tedros is manipulating her when actually it was her manipulating him. Ooh.
I don't know how they try, because right now I'm like, it's so obvious that he's manipulating her like the entire time. And then I don't know if there's a moment in the show where that flip happens, or if they just like didn't know how to wrap it up and they're like, what if she was the bad guy?
Yeah.
And like, I feel like that's what happened in the end.
Yeah, you know what I'm willing to bet is that they're like, okay, like Amy Seimetz leaves, Sam Levinson comes in, and he's just like, you know what would be really cool is that if this woman is a villain, I don't know how we get there, but let's just start shooting. They said, like they were
making it
up on the day. So it's just like, all right, well, let's just get to this plot point as fast as we can. And that's why I think our big complaint about episode 1 was like everything was just very like boom, boom, boom. Like this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why everything's so disjointed, because
episode 1 felt like it could have been episode 3. You know? Like it could have happened at any moment in the show.
Tedros' introduction is so underwhelming.
I know.
It's
in
just
the
like
club.
You just see him like,
he's like,
oh,
yo,
shit,
you want to
okay.
dance?
She's there.
I know. I was like, we haven't even met him yet. Like, why is this not like a boom, like Tedros,
Yeah,
you know?
man. Like if anything, as goofy as it was, the gates opening.
That should have been the first time we've seen it. Yeah.
And you just see a short villain.
I know, yeah.
Just
Our
creeping.
5'8" king.
Yeah, I know. But oh well. I mean, like I said, I'll check it out eventually. We'll talk about it, and I can pretty much just spill the deets on why it is what it is later. But yeah, man, that's enough on the Idol. I feel like it's really cool to check in on that show every now and then. I'm glad it's over though. I'm glad it's over, right? It's over as of
I think so, right?
last weekend.
Yeah, the finale happened.
They cut a whole episode. Is that
yeah?
Right?
How come? Yeah, they did. It happened, right? The finale. That's what everyone reacted to. But like, the weekend didn't really. Did he post about it or like?
I think he gets it.
I think he was just like fucking. I don't know.
Yeah, we're done.
About that
We're done with
again.
our Idol era.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What's good? Hello, Kitchen Boy, one of our mods in the chat.
Hey.
No
Luis.
worries. Stuck 6 feet deep in ground. That's crazy, bro. Were you like taking the metro or something? This is a update on Aiden, bro. How are those dumplings? Let me know. What did you get? Are they good?
Mm-hmm.
You know, would you get them again?
Rate them out of 10. All that stuff. Oh yeah, one last thing about the weekend. Did you see that Jenna Ortega thing?
Yeah, they have a movie together.
It was like a house. And people were saying it's like a House of Balloons thing.
Oh.
And they're saying because if you remember, I think the weekend was on Zane Lowe. They had another interview with Zane Lowe, so it's not just the Zane Lowe interview.
Oh, they had another one.
It's a Zane Lowe interview.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It was just like over. He's literally like on FaceTime, and he's like, "Yeah, man, like I'm filming this documentary. It's the start of something." And people are like, "Oh, what if is it like some kind of movie about his life? Like not just the tour, but maybe it is about the tour, but it encompasses his whole career."
Oh, like everything he's been doing?
Yeah, like let's talk about Trilogy, and then it starts off at the beginning of After Hours
Okay.
tour, and then like as it progresses, you know that. So
I'm down with that.
Starring Jenna Ortega. It's just like,
oh wait, that's what it is?
Yeah, because Jenna.
It's a documentary.
Yeah, maybe.
No, I thought it was like a narrative.
Like a formal
film.
movie.
And it was like Jenna Ortega, The Weeknd, and one other actor or actress. And it's like a story. Right?
Yeah. This house will make sense later, and then The Weeknd does
the
whole thing.
So that's probably the film.
That's probably where like it's set in.
But I did see Curry sent me a thread on Reddit. People kind of like speculating that the film could tie into the final album or like the wrap up of his career. And it was like a whole long thread about like the plot of the movie and like the people who were involved and like the house, you know, and it's like could, you know, super massive grain of salt with that one. That could be absolutely nothing true about that. But it's interesting to think about, just to think about like, oh, like what if a film kind of accompanies how The Weeknd wraps things up, with the final installation of this new trilogy. It felt like at the time how Uncut Gems was kind of right on the same, kind of wavelength, kind of a spiritual, successor to like the After Hours storyline,
like
where
a
it's
companion
like
piece.
It
It
kind of is
for that.
Yeah, it's like with all within that era, like Uncut Gems fits right in.
Oh, and I love one thing I was just thinking about. It's like I love that Abel gets to go back to his old self, because After Hours is all about killing all that off.
Right, exactly.
Being self-aware of it. So, but if that's what this is, and shit, like
we'll see how much influence he has on this. Like,
I know.
I hope if he does,
if he writes it, it's gonna be terrible. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Nah, he's not a writer. All right.
Yeah.
Leave it to the
not
to the writers.
Not a script writer.
Not a script writer. He's a songwriter.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, The Weeknd, he better not say anything flagrant to Jenna Ortega. That little girl does not need to hear any of the words that were said to Jocelyn. Like, seriously. She looks like she's 15. Like, let's...
Yeah.
He needs to chill. I don't know what the plot of this movie is, but, like...
It's just...
If he's out there, Jenna Ortega, like, stretch that. Nah. He's like, ugh.
Oh my god.
Jenna Ortega better beat the shit out of him.
What kind of world do we live in that The Weeknd, his sex appeal is being questioned? Like, I did not see the day that I would be like, oh shit, The Weeknd does not know how to fuck. And obviously, like, it's a character or whatever. But fuck, dog.
I'm a Virgin is getting more complex every day.
It's looking real funny in the light.
It's getting more serious.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, I think that'll do it for the Tedros talk. The Tedros talk.
Yeah.
We got a new segment that I think we'd like to introduce to you guys, courtesy of Papa Magnus.
Yeah.
Of Matt's dad. Shout out Papa Magnus. We want to take some time every now and then, because Matt and I, we just love going back to some classic albums and, realizing like, okay, why did this pop off? Or oh, like this underrated gem. Let's find out, like, and really, like, savor it for what it is. Like, those sleeper albums that people never heard of. But, in this case, we got a couple classic albums that we want to discuss. And we thought, let's highlight them, let's discuss them, let's put you guys on if you guys hadn't heard them yet. And we can do it like that. So,
yeah,
2 albums we decided we settled on for the first time around. We don't have a name for this segment. Let us know if you guys got any names for it. But we settled on Jay Dilla's Donuts and D'Angelo's Voodoo, which are linked, actually. I think
they are. We'll get into that in a second.
For sure.
They are actually related. I guess maybe not the project themselves, but these 2 artists themselves. So, yeah. So, kind of going off what you were saying, this segment, my dad was saying, he had a suggestion for us. He's like, I watch your little show. And he's like, I think y'all need to talk about more vintage albums, he said. Retro albums, older records. Because, as any old man with who likes music, he's like, this new stuff is not hitting it anymore. These new kids, like, this is not music. Which, he's kind of right to an extent.
In a sense, yeah. Also, you make your dad sound like he's Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
Man. These new music, you're going to need to have some old albums from them.
But, obviously, like, I love all music from all eras, so I could easily talk about any era that I want to talk about and bring up a good album.
Yeah.
So today we wanted to talk about these 2, kind of dissect them, do kind of like a live deep dive of a version of what we usually do on our deep dives on our YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
But on the show.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get them equal. It's like annoying my. There we go. Okay. But yeah, so I'll get into the context of why these two albums. But basically, if y'all haven't checked it out, Jay Dilla is a producer. D'Angelo is R&B singer. Both of them were part of a music collective called the Soulquarians, which was started by Q-Tip back in, I want to say, the early 90s, going into the 2000s. Other people who were in the Soulquarians were people like Erykah Badu, obviously D'Angelo, Questlove, the whole Tribe crew, also, and Jay Dilla, who produced for almost all these people. So Jay Dilla also produced a good amount of tracks on Voodoo for D'Angelo, as well as on Mama's Gun, stuff like that. Yeah. So for a hot second, these two were in the studio. It literally was like they were all in the same studio, all in the same room, kind of like how Dreamville and J. Cole do it, where it's like in each room someone's making this album, then they go across the hallway and they go do a feature on this record, and it's just like this crazy collaborative experience all happening at the same time. That was happening way back when, with these two records and with these two artists. And these two records I think are interesting because they are kind of the catalyst records for both artists themselves. One of them being a beat tape, one of them being an R&B project, and both of them being considered like some of the greatest albums ever in the history of music,
and some of the most definitive in their respective genres. Donuts, like I saw a video of this, you've seen the video, I'm sure. It's like him in the club, and it's basically this album cover but like in motion. And it's people were saying in the comments, like it's like watching the Mona Lisa like turn her head and smile, you know, like it's crazy to think like that these albums, like put them in the context of where they came from, and for them to come out like this, and you're like, man, they had no idea, or I don't know, maybe they did. They were making like some of the most definitive 2000s albums, and I know you all see the names on there. Kanye, Pharrell, my favorite producer, Jay Dilla. Like these albums influenced a lot of. This is some of your favorite artists.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, Kanye, Pharrell, anyone who's trying to be a producer always looks to Jay Dilla. So which one shall we get into first?
Rock, paper, scissors?
Should we flip a coin?
Yeah, let's flip a coin.
Do I have coins?
Do we have a coin?
I might have gotten rid of all my change. Do you see a coin in there?
I do not. Flip the memory card?
Okay, let's do coin flip. Google.com. Coin flip simulator.
Here we go. Yeah.
Wait, wait.
All right,
hold on. Ready?
I'm heads, your tails.
Okay, ready, go.
Tails. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the Voodoo that you do. Voodoo by D'Angelo, y'all. So, the reason why, actually, Matt picked this album for me, but I love this choice because I've been in a deep R&B like rabbit hole lately. So I don't know, it makes sense that at first segment talk about one of the most, like I said before, definitive neo soul R&B, which by the way, my hot take, neo soul I think is like the best subgenre of R&B, like that's just me though. But yeah, no, Voodoo 2000 album. Yeah, man. Did you get a chance to re-listen to this album?
Yeah, I have it actually. It's one of my albums I have downloaded.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, man. So, I don't know. Starting off, very, very groovy, re-listenable, enjoyable album. Like, one of my favorite things about to say is like, whatever you put into it, you will get out of it. So if you're looking for just some nice vibes, throw this on in the background, you're gonna do great. Like it's so many groovy little instrumental breakdowns, and obviously D'Angelo does his thing. But if you're here for like, if you want to listen to some music, like really listen to some music, you're gonna get a bunch of little things. There's like some cute little drum, hits that they'll do, like different little rhythms, bass is going, and obviously again, like I said, like D'Angelo, what I love about this song, this album are some of the stories behind this album. Like, you know, obviously it's kind of a mythic album, and definitely was one of the most, what's the word, like, it set D'Angelo on the path that he would go on. Like, it made him who he is, and there's a lot of cool stories. But, you know, starting off, just like, what were your thoughts on this album and going into it? Because I love this album. You know, really great choice, by the way. Yeah.
I think what surprised me the most about my first listen to the album, I guess, is kind of like, it's very subtle, you know, in some moments. There are some really quiet, kind of like sensual breakdowns and lead-ins and moments throughout. But then there's also really loud and really great, like, builds, I think. What's interesting to me about this album is, like, the structure of the songs. Your usual, like, typical, like, R&B record is kind of just like, you know, the beat comes in, you know, there's like kind of a swing to it, you get the nice bass, you get a nice little piano, maybe melody going, and then, you know, the vocals are really smooth, silky, it all just kind of blends in immediately. Whereas on Voodoo, he'll build each layer individually slowly. So what's interesting though is it creates like, it's like a symphony almost. It's like the choir will come in and then the bass will start to build, and then all of a sudden a song that was super quiet is now loud and like big, and the choir is like screaming. It's like it takes you on a journey with each record, which is super cool. And then you have records that are complete opposites of that, where it's like really easy, like I think of like Spanish Joint, where it's just like super quick, high tempo. It's like, you know, you're right into it. So
it's a jam sesh type of record.
Definitely a jam session. It seems like live, like it was created live in the moment, like first take, but not in a bad way, but just like the spontaneity of doing a record for the first time is, I feel like that's how it was supposed to sound. But yeah, it's just like kind of the blueprint for a lot of like different type of R&B. I think I look at Daniel Caesar, huge influence from D'Angelo, you know, from the choir and gospel music and more slow builds and slow burns. I look at
Anderson .Paak is another one too.
Anderson
Again,
.Paak,
like that jam
for sure.
sesh quality of like the spontaneity, like you mentioned. All that.
That's what I love about D'Angelo. That's what I love about Voodoo. But yeah, I mean, you know a lot more about D'Angelo the person though, and how this record changed his view on, I guess, himself.
On himself, on R&B, on the music industry. So yeah, no, well, I want to piggyback. I want to jolly hop off something that you'd mentioned about how the songs will kind of crescendo, start off slow and crescendo, and I think no better example for that than Untitled. I think D'Angelo's biggest record.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know, like, it starts off super, like very clean, very simple, and then by the end of it, it's this big, like, how does it feel, and the interesting thing is it actually started out as like
a Drake. Actually started as a Drake diss.
A Drake diss, yes.
Well, what's really interesting.
There you go. And then it became this whole other song. Yeah, but it started off as a Drake diss, which is crazy. Like 20 years before Drake even was born. No. So it started off as a Prince homage, and it actually, like, at the time, that was like what everyone hated about it, was like, this song Untitled, it's very been there, done that, like the lyrics, like they're very sensual and they're very loving.
I can see how they,
and people actually didn't know, like, bro, that's the point. Like, D'Angelo made it, first of all, as a Prince homage, but also the purpose of that record was, look, there's so many love songs in the world, so I'm just gonna take all the best parts, or like all my favorite parts of a love song, and just give you like 7 minutes of like that love and feeling, like most potent. And if you listen to it, man, it gets you in that mood. It just feels right, and I think that's really, and apparently that's why it's called Untitled, is because like it's not its own record. It's really like a hodgepodge, a smorgasbord of all of my favorite influences, man, like Stevie Wonder. I think I saw Marvin Gaye in that name, Al Green. So all these different influences, and this song, it's really cool. Like a concept song of like, let me just take every single love song in the world that I love, and make it into this one. And I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
Now that what you're alluding to, yeah, man, this album changed D'Angelo's like life. Like it changed the course of his life. In that there's a documentary that came out. I was talking about his tour for this album, and it was, and first of all, the music video for Untitled came out, and it's as the album cover said, you can see here on the album cover, Tim shirtless, one take, him singing, and that really like set him on the path of being like this sex symbol, this sex idol or whatever. Not Tedros now. We're talking D'Angelo, and yeah, like he so fast forward to the tour. The tour starts out sold out, like it's selling out. Obviously, people are loving this album and loving D'Angelo, and he starts performing, and people are starting to, like, whenever he goes into the crowd, they're taking off his shirt, they're trying to rip it off,
crazy.
They're pulling at it, trying to get him to go shirtless, obviously tugging at, if y'all have seen that ASAP Rocky scene of him, like, in the, what is it, he, like, crowd surfs, and someone, like, grabs his balls, apparently. Yeah. Like, shit like that, where, it's just like, alright, like, people are just trying to, by any means necessary, get D'Angelo. It got so bad that apparently he'd have to, like, cut slits into his tank top, like, just so he can, like, when they pull it, he can
breaks
breathe,
away. Yeah.
Or, like, it doesn't, like, hang him,
Oh, shit.
So he's cutting little slits. And it was one performance, I forget which location it was, what the date was, but he's performing, and they start ripping off little articles of his clothing, and he's just like, you know what? He, like, rips off his shirt and starts singing the rest of the concert, and, someone described it as like he was like a man possessed.
Whoa.
And that's what it was. And apparently, so after the concert, he went to his backstage little room, his dressing room, and just cried for an hour, 2 hours straight, because he just had no idea like what just came over him for the past hour, whatever, 30 minutes of this concert. And it's like, man. And I did some reading, and apparently D'Angelo, raised in a Pentecostal church household, like super strict, went to church as much as he could on a weekly basis. So there was definitely a sense of like, yo, did the devil just take me over for a little bit? Right. And a lot of what R&B,
he channeled the Tedros in him.
The Tedros energy.
It took over. Do you like the way?
Do you?
He couldn't. That's all he heard and over.
Even D'Angelo didn't like the way he flicked his tongue.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
Fucking wild, right, man?
Yeah.
It's like almost like blacking out for 30 minutes, seeing your records, and just, I don't know, channeling an inner part. So all that, and he's continuing the tour. Obviously, you got to make money. Like, I'm sure, if you're here, you guys know the streams, album sales, like, they don't really do much in terms of carrying actually getting money to the artist. It's the tours, it's the merch.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still performing, and it got to a certain point, his manager was like, look, for some artists, it's like when you hear something bad happen to them, it's like, oh, it's a surprise, but with D'Angelo, it's inevitable, because he then got into a car accident, a really bad one, because of just like how bad his mental health was.
Oh, jeez.
Like, again, like, he, for the first night, he cried for 2 hours. Imagine having to do that again and again and again and again. So,
drove him crazy.
That's crazy. So it's definitely one of those stories, man, that puts the whole fame thing and the music industry in perspective of like what like selling your soul means, and obviously maybe D'Angelo didn't like physically sell his soul or anything like that, but like
the temptations were there though.
The things that you have to let go, again, like those like ripping off the article of his clothing feels like symbolic of like, all right, now we're getting to the root of it. Now who are you? Who are you gonna be? You know. So a little bit of a sad story with this album, but that's just to put into some context, like the cultural kind of where we were, like the context of it all, like R&B is still developing, and so
damn, ooh, that's Voodoo.
That's Voodoo
by D'Angelo.
A little bit of a downer, so I appreciate that we can go into Donuts, which I think will be a little.
I mean, Donuts is also sad.
Oh no, okay.
But it's interesting though. Like, this is it's just music history, you know. It's
Yeah.
just like it's I mean like y'all need to listen to this album. If you haven't listened to it, it's people say it's their favorite album of all time. People like Frank Ocean, Daniel Caesar, again we're saying, take influence from D'Angelo. Any person who makes R&B music has listened to this album and has taken influence from it somehow. D'Angelo is up there, and you know, he's not really making music anymore. Between his last album, it was a 10-year gap. The last album he dropped was in 2014, which was this experimental jazz-inspired funk live instrumental album. That is, it's cool. It's nothing like Voodoo, but I think it's just one of those albums you just have to listen to. It's like a movie you got to see. That's a classic, you know.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. Here, can we do something for all these albums that we're gonna highlight?
Sure.
And we can add to this, you know, as time goes on. Number one, favorite moment in this album. It could be just like a little musical cue. It could be a full song.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Untitled, that hit of the How Does It Feel, you know?
Yeah.
Probably, I like Devil's Pie is a bop. Spanish Joint.
That's my one.
Is my favorite off of that one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my favorite moment though is definitely the Untitled. The hit of the chorus just is the whole soul of the album in that record. So
yeah, and then obviously we said definitive song. I think we were both gonna say Untitled.
Yeah.
And then my third question would be, what artist? I mean, we already kind of answered this as well, but what artist does this album? What modern artist does this album remind you of the most?
For me, Daniel Caesar, just because Daniel Caesar has kind of has that gospel influence. Like, I think of Freudian Daniel Caesar. It's very similar to like Voodoo, where it's like very soft. There's like a really great build. The structure is very similar. It's sort of subdued in ways, but also very loud in other ways. Like, it just feels like it has the same highs and lows as this one, and they're both R&B, and I can just tell that Daniel Caesar definitely took a lot of inspiration from this album.
Yeah, I feel you. I think for me, this might be a little bit of a surprising pick. I said Anderson .Paak earlier, but for me, this album most reminds me of one of Jeff Burnett's albums. I'll look it up just so I know for sure, but it's so, like, you could see the influence from D'Angelo off Jeff Burnett. And in case you guys are wondering, the album is called Afterwards. After, and words spelled like, you know, letters, words. Really great album. A lot of live instrumentation. You get all these little breakdowns and little instrumental, and just like moments where he's just talking and all that stuff. So to me, when I went back to listen to this album, I was like, oh, okay, I see where the influence is from Jeff Burnett to from D'Angelo to Jeff Burnett. So there you go. But yeah, there you go. Voodoo, D'Angelo. Nice. Let's get into J Dilla's Donuts.
Yes. All right, my man. J Dilla.
Is it arguable that he's the greatest producer of all time, or is it like pretty undisputed at this point?
I mean, it depends. Like, it depends on the type of production that you like, you know.
It's true. That's true.
It could be I don't know, a freaking EDM producer is your favorite producer of all time.
That's true. That's true.
I will say though, this is one of the most underrated artists of all time. It's definitely a producer's producer, you know. It's your rapper's favorite producer. Every single he's made hits that y'all don't even know he made. In fact, there's hits out there that were said they were made by other people, but they really were made by J Dilla.
Wow. And
his come up is crazy. Anyway, J Dilla, his real name is his last name is Yancey. His first name was I should remember. I'm reading the book right now. I haven't read it in a while, but anyway, he's from Detroit. He lived in pretty much the projects. he would steal and do shit, whatever he could do to like raise money to buy music equipment. This is when people were literally making beats on tape, and like VHS and the cassettes. I mean, not VHS, but cassette tape. And he started out making beats on some person who worked at what was, I think, Motown at the time. In his basement, just kind of like shadowing him, and the guy really liked him. He thought, "Oh, Jay Dilla, like you have a good taste. You're pretty good at making music off of the crappy equipment that you have. I think I'll take you under my wing. You can use my my studio for free, whatever." And so Jay Dilla's like, "Okay, fuck it." So he's in there day in, day out, skipping school, not showing up to certain things, just in the basement cooking on this stuff, and like making some of the most insane beats that no one else is making. And what makes Jay Dilla special though is, y'all know what sampling is, right? It's like you take a song, you interpret it, you bring it into Ableton, you bring it into Pro Tools, you chop it up, put it on one of those drum pads, and you go like do 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 do, and then that's how Kanye makes all his samples. That's how Pharrell. You've seen the videos of Kanye, going crazy on the keyboard, like chopping up samples and shit.
Yep.
Jay Dilla was doing all that before there were computers, before there were drum machines, before any of that. He was doing that by literally using a cassette player and then a recorder, and then playing the cassette player, and then recording it, stopping it, rewinding, playing, recording, stopping, rewinding, playing, recording, rewinding, until he gets a chop. And then you play it back, and if you did it right, you'd play back a beat, and it would chop correctly on time, and it would loop. So it was old school. This is like playing like, with sticks and stones versus, we got the, computers and shit like that. So he kind of like pioneered modern producing that now you hear samples getting chopped every day in every song you've ever heard, So that was very revolutionary. But where Jay Dilla came in terms of how he became so notable by all these other artists, people like Tribe Called Quest begging him to make records for him, when Jay Dilla was like, "Oh, y'all are my favorite group, so like, yeah, sure, I'll do it." It's like people literally asking for him to, to make records. Is he created his own time signature in music. So if you've made music before, or if you were in band or whatever, there's certain time signatures. There's like 4 count, 8 count. It's like 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3, or like 5 6 7 8, 5 6 7 8. That's just how all music is timed out. But Jay Dilla created his own time. He created his own time signature, which is mimicking. It's like he's programmed a drum machine to sound like how a human would play, and it's like, which means he uses a drum machine that's a computer at the time. He's the one who kind of revolutionized the drum machine. But when the first drum machine came out, he programmed it in a way where it sounded like a real person was playing, and so it had human error, which meant sometimes the beat was a little slow and not on time. Sometimes it was a little quick, but it was all programmed on the drum. So he could consistently make those mistakes to make a new time signature, to make a new Dilla time. Basically, there's, halftime, there's halftime something, and then now there's Dilla time.
Damn.
And so there's a story in the book where Q-Tip, member of Tribe Called Quest, was walking past a club, and Jay Dilla was in there DJing one of his tracks. Jay Dilla had a rap group called Slum Village, and it was him, his other buddy, and the 3 of them. They were performing at some dive bar or something, some like shitty hole in the wall, and Q-Tip, who had just performed at a venue up the street, was walking by, and he was hearing the drum, the beat from outside, and he's like, it sounds so off, like what it sound like, something about it. He's a drummer. He's like, something about that sounds so off. But then he gets closer, and he's like, but it works. He's like, it's like, this is the first time he's ever heard anything like this. He's like, how is it that the drums are off, yet the beat works? And they're rapping over it, you know, like
Yeah.
and they're able to keep in time and like so at that moment Q-Tip was like this is some new shit, like someone is doing something different.
Mm-hmm.
And so he approached Jay Dilla after and he's like, do you have whatever you played on, like do you have that on you? And so he's like, yeah. And he gives him a cassette and Q-Tip takes that cassette, plays it for the other members of Tribe, and they're immediately like, we need this guy right now, like we need him in the studio. Mind you, Jay Dilla's probably like 18, like he's just a kid. Wow. 19 already. Tribe is like the biggest rap group in the world, or in the game right now. And so Jay Dilla goes from making beats in a basement to now making beats for Tribe Called Quest. And that's kind of how his career started. And then from there, he started making Farside. He started working with De La Soul. Started working with MF Doom. You know, started working with Kanye. Started working with John Legend. All the way up. Started working with Janet Jackson. Like all the greatest hits. Erykah Badu. A lot of those early 90s, or late 90s, early 2000s music is produced by Jay Dilla or people who are trying to sound like Jay Dilla. Mm-hmm. A little bit of background on him. So, where this record comes into play, though, Jay Dilla, at some point in his life, was diagnosed with cancer. A very, very, very rare version of cancer. I forget where it was in his body, but he was bedridden in the middle of making this project. He was already making it, and then he had to be taken to the hospital. And during that time, it was like an excruciating process of making beats, and you can hear that in the actual beats. So it's a beat tape. There's no singers. There's no chorus. Mm-hmm. It's literally chopped up other songs to tell the story of how he was feeling in that moment. And so there's some really interesting, really crazy corkscrew like production on there that sounds so weird and out of left field, but then when you really listen to it, you can tell that there's a swing to it, that there's a time signature happening, that it's telling a story. Then it kind of slowly devolves into what would eventually be his death and what he would want to leave behind and the things he would want to say, the people he would want to talk to, the things he would say to his loved ones before he died. That's what this record turned into, and that is definitely encapsulated by the record Don't Cry, which is... where is it? It's almost towards the end. It's like the 18 track on here.
Yeah.
And that record specifically was for his mom. And it was chopped up and played for his mom to, you know, don't cry when I die, basically. So unfortunately, Jay Dilla did not live long enough to actually see this record through. His loved ones, the people he worked with, kind of like put together what he had made and created and released it as Jay Dilla Donuts, and he was already dead by the time it was released and got critical acclaim. But he was literally on his deathbed with the drum machine cutting these beats. For it to be the last thing that he ever does in music and in his life. And so Donuts is like more than just a revolutionary experiment on, you know, a producer and what a producer tape could look like and what can be translated just through beats, but also it's kind of a memoir and like Jay Dilla's final, his farewell, you know, his letter goodbye as a record. And the beats on there are crazy. They sound like they don't work. Some of them are fire. Some of them are really out of left field. Some of them are super sad, and they're all just chopped up on a drum machine. Off of other songs made into new songs and created into a whole album.
Yeah, and first of all, hey, round of applause, y'all. That was a great retelling of just like the complete story of Jay Dilla. And not the complete.
Not really. There's so much. That was like surface level.
Yeah. But, you know, a good little synopsis for, I see people in the chat didn't know that. So, there you go. Dude, so yeah, some of these songs to me, and I'm not just saying this because I see her, but to me, when I think of this album, I think of Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, because it's like you know, as we're saying, like it's your favorite artist's favorite album, it's your favorite producer's favorite album, and there's so many influences on here that you like when you listen to, you're like, oh, I see it, like, and also like a lot of records that you're like, oh shoot, I know that record, you know, like I think of Time. Time Sample is one of my favorite Jackson 5 records. All I Do Is Think of You. There's another one, I forget which track it is, that samples the same song that Usher did on Throwback off Confessions, and I'm sure there's a couple other ones there, but those were the two ones that because they both are songs that I already resonated to with and I loved before knowing this. So I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And I'm sure there's a lot of moments like that.
And the thing is, those people like Usher or other people who sampled that probably discovered the sample through Jay Dilla and how he used it first. You know?
Yeah. So, oh man, like I would love to hear, man, if there's one person whose playlist I'd love to hear, like Dead or Alive, I don't know, it might be Dilla, just because like the way, and just to be able to hear what he hears, you know, like it's incredible, man. So
that's a bar, Kay. That's a bar for sure.
Making
beats till his last beat.
Okay.
That's a bar. That's a bar. Had to pin that one.
Please,
But yeah, it's crazy. You should watch videos about with Q-Tip and Questlove, both of them talking about Jay Dilla and working with him. Like Q-Tip said that he will watch Jay Dilla cut up the best thing you've ever heard and just throw it away. Like, it's not good.
Wow, that's
and erase. Like he will be like hear like legendary beats, toss. So like Jay Dilla's archive or like his throwaways or just beats that were deleted in the moment were better than anything we could have ever heard. So like it's just he was a revolutionary talent. I think people would always refer to him as is like a once in a lifetime type of artist. And you know, obviously whenever you're that, you have to have some tragedy about you.
I know.
But Jay Dilla, like I remember there was a story in the book where Jay Dilla laid down a drum pattern, and they were in love with the Tribe, and they stepped out. Some other member of Tribe went in and recorded over it, and you know, this is tape, so it's once it's gone, it's gone. You know, you can't control alt delete. You know, like it's recorded over, and so they come back, and the two members get into a fight, like so much that they were gonna go outside, and like they were threatening to stab each other because he fucked up Jay Dilla's beat, and Jay Dilla's sitting there. You know, he's 20 something. He's like, yo, like, please don't kill each other. Like, y'all are my favorite rap group. Like, I can just make it again. Like,
like y'all are not about to kill each other off of my me. Like, I'm good. Like, I can make another one. Don't worry about it.
It's crazy. So that's how good his beats were. That's how coveted they were in that moment. Like, no one was doing it like Jay Dilla. In fact, people were trying to do it like Jay Dilla. And
to
this day, people are still doing it. There's another interview with Kanye saying that like he looks at Jay Dilla and he's like, yeah, that's my whole inspiration is from Jay Dilla, is how he chopped up beats and how he chopped up samples and shit like that. And Dilla Time, you know, creating an entirely new avenue of making music.
That's the thing that I'm just learning is because I remember, because I've been into beat tapes and like these type of beats, like have you heard of like Taku? He's just similar, like Najabis. I was into those beats in high school because of basketball mixtapes. You know, like
finding
very
beats.
Cool and a very. What I love about Dilla's beats and these beats in general is like how they're quick and then all of a sudden they're smooth and elegant and they go right back to being, you know, a bop. So when I listen to this album, I just think of like how kinetic it is, yet, you know, like you mentioned, like the human error. There's like little
there's human errors, but they're programmed human errors.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about.
Which means that they can sustain and be consistent. That's how he creates his own time. You know, because the compute, he was able to fuck with the limited computer power of the old drum tapes to break the system basically that they were built on. You know, because like the old drum machines, they were built on a grid. You know, so it's like you know, the metronome, like do 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 do. You couldn't move that rate. It was always the same. but I forget, they explained in the book, but he broke that so that he could so that it wouldn't stick, it wouldn't be stuck to that time, it would be fluid. So now the time signature's shifting throughout the song. You're like, what am I listening to? So that's why it's so like different and like it's so distinct. Yeah,
I love that because you have that tempo that's so like sporadic. Yeah, which again hits for like basketball mixtapes because it's just like dribble move. But then you have these like sweeping samples of vintage, like y'all know what I'm talking about. It's just like these females like looped over and over again, and that's what gives it
gospel singers,
slow time, sad records, and hearing that kind of like juxtaposition of it or like that layering, I don't know, it's just something beautiful, man. And it's something that I feel like anybody could get it. Even if you don't get it, you'll be like, I just like the way this sounds pleasant. This sounds right,
Yeah. So really cool, if you're trying to dive into J Dilla, I would say listen to Slum Village. There's some cuts on there that you will recognize being sampled from other people. So there's a little sample school type going on, but Slum Village, there I think it's, if you go to their page, I forget the name of the actual record. It's something Part 2. The Fantastic Volume 2. That's their main record. There's some songs off there that you've definitely heard from other songs that you've heard today. Or if you want to hear his other work that he did with people, Tribe Called Quest, listen to Didn't You Know by Erykah Badu. He produced that. Listen to Got It Till It's Gone by Janet Jackson, which technically he didn't produce that, but in the book it was said that he did, but he didn't want the clout.
Wow.
He didn't want, it's Janet Jackson. It's like Michael Jackson. He said just say someone else produced it. Like he was anti-famous, he was
all about the work, the grind,
the ultimate moving in silence. Like bro, like I told you, he would just throw away the greatest beat you've ever heard.
That's respectable.
He's like, I don't want the clout, just say these other dudes produced it, but his style was so distinct. Everyone's like, oh, this is J Dilla, and he didn't even have to put his name on it.
That's fire.
Crazy.
Hey, Chip Fan's right. I would absolutely flick my tongue for J Dilla off that story alone. Yo, he produced a Janet Jackson song. He's just like, y'all can keep that.
Yeah, he's like, I don't need the credit. They'll know it's me.
Yeah, they know. Yeah. They know. Off. That's
crazy.
Beautiful, man.
Crazy.
That's a pure impact alone. Like
So go listen to Slum Village. Listen to Tribe. Listen to Far Side. Some De La Soul records. And you will hear J Dilla.
Yeah. Are we good to get into the big three questions?
Yeah.
Favorite moment, definitive song, and artist that this most reminds you of, or what do you think about?
Okay, so on Donuts, so Lightworks is interesting. That song has traveled from a lot of different rappers have interpolated that song in many ways. MF Doom has a song with the Lightworks beat. I think like Madlib kind of did his own thing. It's been interpolated a lot, so there's a lot of like, that one's just cool because it's like the original one. So I like that moment for sure. Obviously, Don't Cry is a banger. Welcome to the Show is great. There's a Time, the Donut of the Heart, I think is one. It might be the best song on there. Don't Cry, I think, is like a close second, if not at the same. But and then if you want to hear a crazy ass song, Working on It is those like screwball like.
It's the one with the guitars, right?
It's the one where it's like working on it, and then you hear like a siren go by, and then you hear like, and you hear just like, it's just craziness, and then it somehow all works together as a beat. It's crazy. So
and I think the song that goes right, it's called Mash. That's another one of those, I think, screwball records. Because I remember I'm like, yo, this, just today, I'm talking about today. I'm like, yo, this song is fucking crazy, and then it goes right into Time.
Yep.
And it works, like that transition,
It's all deliberate.
Yeah. So it's really, how to describe this album, man, organized chaos.
Yeah.
Ooh, that could be actually a good second category at some point. Like, describe the album in two words.
Organized Chaos is definitely it.
Yeah, I think honestly, definitive record for me has to be Time.
Yeah.
Like all I do is think of you. Like that song to me is just so. I have such good memories of that song. So
Yeah.
him sampling that, incredible. Favorite moments? Oh man, favorite moment. I mean, yeah, like in knowing now what it is, it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
Damn man, bye. Last donut of the night.
Don't Cry is the saddest song.
Don't Cry. Don't Cry is. I'm gonna have to
I would
listen to that one
smash SZA. I mean, we're not even talking about SZA, bro. Chip fan. A little too horny on the chat.
Yeah. the most wrong time. Like we're talking about for some real tragic shit. And you're like, yo,
Matt was smash SZA. Like, all right. I'm trying to educate you, Chip fan.
Yeah.
But this is that real music.
And you know what? For artists that this most reminds me of, I mentioned it before. This album really reminds me of Miseducation, Lauryn Hill. Not because of the music itself,
yeah,
but just because of that impact and the legendary status, the you didn't know this, but you do now kind of thing. If you listen to this album, so for me, that's what this reminds me of.
I'd say the closest producer tape that comes closest to Donuts is probably Louis by Kenny Beats. It's a great tape. It's not as good and experimental and innovative, but it does tell a story in a very similar way. Y'all know Kenny Beats. It's his tape that came out, I think, last year or something. But yeah, it's super cool. Great records on there. Tells a story. I think it's inspired by his dad or something like that.
Okay. So there's a real emotional gravitas to it.
Yeah, I think it even samples like video, audio from like home videos from his dad and stuff like that.
Man, really?
Or like they're like conversations or something, and it's cool. But yeah, there you go.
Boom.
J Dilla Donuts, Voodoo by D'Angelo. Y'all have some homework to do.
And let's get into real quick. One last thing. What's in our rotation? What have we been listening to, man?
Let's see.
You know what?
I have been listening to
Obviously Voodoo and Donuts. You've been checking that out?
Yes.
Oh, you know who I've been listening to a lot lately is Tierra Whack.
Oh, Tierra Whack, for sure.
Oh, she's great, man. She put out like back in 2021 3 different albums or like little LPs. It's like literally titled Rap, R&B, Pop.
Okay, for sure.
And it's like her trying out each different genres, and man, the rap one hits so well. But my favorite one's got to be R&B, bro. Like R&B, there's records like Sorry, Heaven, I want to say. Heaven, yeah, like just those albums really hit for me for some reason this past week. And then her latest album, Whack World, which dropped last year. Again, pretty long track list, super short songs, super quick listen. Like I would definitely recommend checking that out. It's like, how would you describe it? Like Tierra Whack, it's very bright, very colorful.
Super like very distinct voice. I'd say very some really wild bars.
Yeah. Definitely some really like whoa.
Yeah. But no, very high energy for sure.
High energy, very bedroom rap. You know, like
like
bedroom pop.
DIY rap.
Yeah, lo-fi, but not lo-fi. That's kind of a broad term, but no, yeah, that kind of vibe, bedroom rap. Let's see what else. Oh, I can speak for the both of us for this one. Toro y Moi put out a great live album, live rendition of their Mahal album.
So good.
So good. If you guys ever find yourselves, I don't know, like sitting out in the park or like working out on the patio, put this album on. It'll set the mood. You'll feel right.
Yes.
Yeah. How about you? Any other songs you'd like to recommend? Albums?
I've been listening to Fountain Baby by Amare. Crazy production on this record. Really fun. I haven't really heard a record like this before, and so now I'm kind of diving deeper into her music, and it's very genre bending. It's definitely electronic. It's definitely R&B. It's kind of a blend of like FKA Twigs
Yeah.
and sort of a Pink Pantherist vocal. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Go listen to it. It's just like very experimental, very interesting. Some club bangers on there, some slow songs, some songs that are like just so like you wouldn't think the genre would work, but it does.
It does. Yeah.
I did listen to Pink Tape, Lil Uzi Vert.
What'd you think about it?
I didn't get through the whole thing yet. This is basically a whole lot of Pink, you know, like
Whole lot of Pink.
which is really fitting because it's kind of a watered down whole lot of red, which watered down red is pink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's cool. There's some. I actually like the Nicki songs on here. She has some great bars. But
Songs, plural.
yeah, she's on there. She has 2 features, right?
I don't know. I haven't looked through the track.
I thought she did. Oh, 1 feature. Never mind. Yeah, I haven't made it through the whole thing, but it's pretty different. Very raw. There's some pretty good flows on there. Probably the most mid Travis Scott feature I've heard in a while.
Yeah.
I haven't liked anything Travis Scott's been doing, so like I'm very very scared for Utopia.
Interesting.
But it's been all right. I mean that's just what I've been listening to. And then one more I'll give you is I've been listening to East Timor. I think I said that last time, but this time it's a different album.
Oh yeah.
I'm listening to their newest album, 2023 album. Okay, this is in contender for longest album title ever. The album is called "Praise the Lord Who Chews but Which Does Not Consume," or simply "Hot Between Worlds."
Y'all got that?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a.
Go listen to it though.
Okay.
One of the best records this year.
That reminds me of like old Panic at the Disco songs, like
Yeah.
What is it? The one that everyone fucking knows. Panic at the Disco.
I chime in.
I write sins, not tragedy. Lying is the most fun a girl can have without lying, or without.
Like, did you know that there's a tunnel underneath something Boulevard, whatever that Lana Del Rey album is called?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nails for Breakfast, Tax for Snacks, London Beacon songs about misery, like stuff like that.
I like longer stuff longer titles like that.
It means a little more, which it's a little more like intriguing as opposed to just like love song. You know?
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, no, I feel that. Matt, we are in the month of Barbie, a Barbenheimer.
Yes, Barbie month, Oppenheimer month. Yo, it's about to go crazy. I'm excited. I'm seeing, the more I see about that movie, I say it every time, the more I'm loving it.
Oh,
I've been waiting for this day. So
Barbie.
Yes.
Can I come to your place?
Yeah. One thing though that I'm reading about for Oppenheimer is the format. I thought it was regular like 70 mil IMAX, which is really big. It's a tall frame, but it was filmed in 70 millimeter IMAX, but at a cropped aspect ratio to be a little more vintage and like old timey, I guess. And there's like maybe 3 theaters that will ever show it in its actual native aspect ratio.
Okay.
So when you watch it, even if you watch it on film, 70 millimeter, it still might not be the right way to watch it.
Wow.
You have to watch it in its cropped, I don't even know what it's called. It's like its own aspect ratio. And so all the other showings of Oppenheimer will be like just cropped in, you know, to fill up the whole screen. So
Nolan,
yeah,
man, he's going balls to the walls with this one. Like this is like, he's just going crazy. Like
yeah.
But
I'm gonna try and see it as best quality as I can, Nolan. But like, you really made it fucking difficult.
Yeah.
Like, I'll at least try and see it in IMAX. You know, it might not be 70 millimeter. It might not be 70 millimeter cropped in by 4:3 IMAX aspect ratio or whatever. Like, it's too much.
Yeah, but you know, well, I'll definitely want to check that out. Man, Oppenheimer and like, it's got to be IMAX. Oh yeah, I mean, we're kind of running low on time, but we got to go. Well, next week I'll talk about Indiana Jones and fucking crazy guys. Yo, there's a crazy ass Indiana Jones movie in theaters right now.
Yeah.
And Yeah. I've been saying about it. I've been talking about it like all week. Full frontal Harrison Ford, guys.
Yo!
Go check it out. For if you all want to flick your tongue for Harrison Ford, go ahead, check that movie out.
Hey.
I think that's a good note to end.
That's
on.
a good one to end on.
Yeah.
All right.
What's up, Curry? You're like way super
You're
late.
dumb late. You're. Yeah. That's not. Hey, that's you. I just talked about that album. You're late. You would have known if you were here. Don't be out here accusing me when you could have been here.
What are we talking about?
It's just.
The Amore.
Yeah, that's just the album cover, okay? Tell me you don't get bitches. That album is for the bad bitches, okay, Curry? You wouldn't get it. Oh, he just got out of work. All right, my bad.
Yeah.
Make that money.
All right.
My
You're on
bad.
edge.
Chase the bag. Chase the bag.
Actually, same.
Chase the
here.
money. Chase the money.
Chase the money.
All right, y'all. Okay, have a good week.
Hey.
Have a good weekend. We'll see y'all next week. And, yeah, peace.
Only beats.